And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Hornet Stadium here on the campus of East Central High School. It's a cloudy night, 72 degrees outside with light winds. And welcome from Kerrville High School, Kerrville Tivy, for this varsity matchup tonight with your East Central Hornets. Welcome my colleague tonight, Barry Huff. Say hi, Barry.
Hi, Barry.
Myself, I'm James Bryant, and we are here for our second live Facebook and YouTube broadcast of East Central football.
I'm just thinking how humbling it is to be able to be out here doing the broadcast. Again, if you don't know, the first voice you heard, that is James Bryant. James Bryant does a lot of announcing here, from basketball to soccer to softball. His voice is recognizable, and he teaches two preps. Algebra, or are you going straight geometry this year with statistics? Is that three preps?
Geometry and statistics, and let's mention you are also a teacher at Heritage Middle School. English language arts. Be more specific for me, please.
8th grade. I teach 8th grade out there, as well as journalism this year, and it's been fun. Middle school. I did not like being in middle school, but I love teaching it. It is really a great time for kids to teach kids, in my perspective.
Awesome. We're both teachers. That part you care about. The rest of it, probably not. So let's talk about what you're really here for. It's some football. Of course, we're welcoming from Kerrville, once again, Tivy High School. Tivy comes in with a 0-3 record so far this year, all non-district play. We'll talk about their schedule momentarily. Versus, of course, your East Central Hornets. The Hornets are 0-2 this year, 0-1 in district play. And again, we'll talk over those games here shortly. Let's start off with Tivy and their game so far, Barry.
They've had a buzzsaw schedule. That 0-3, do not be deceived. They started off with a strong game there. They lost to Dripping Springs, but then they had regional powerhouse, Region 4 powerhouse, CC, Corpus Christi Cal Allen. That team is a 4A school, Kerrville Tivy Antlers, 5A Division 2. Cal Allen is always in the playoffs. It's amazing that game happened. And then 5A Kerrville Tivy had to go face Killeen Shoemaker, 6A, up in Killeen. And it has been pretty tough going, this pre-district schedule for Kerrville Tivy.
Whoever made that schedule up for Tivy did them up good, didn't they? They chose some teams that you hear, their names that you hear every year. They make it into the playoffs at least, and Kerrville Tivy is playing them this year. So, talking about tough schedules, Barry, we're in District 27 6A, one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. We're talking about names like Judson, state champions. We're talking about Steele, former state champions. Tell us a little bit more about District 27 6A.
Last night they even had just a tremendous battle versus. It featured Clemens and Judson, and that is probably going to be the fight. It's just a dog fight every night in this district. Ultimately, Judson came on top 34-28. It was televised live. It was a great game. But again, every night in this district, if this isn't the most difficult district in Texas, it's definitely the most difficult district in Central and South Texas. I can't think of any district that is just that good from top to bottom.
Absolutely. Our first game was against Roosevelt, correct, Barry?
Roosevelt, oh yeah.
Came out on the short end there, almost a near comeback for East Central on that one. Followed up by Steele, as we mentioned. Steele, former state champion and perennial playoff contenders.
Let me have that one for a second, because it wasn't just simply that it was a good game. We did lose, but ultimately, Steele, during this time, they were in the city of Cibolo, they were allowed to keep working out, to keep getting ready for the season when East Central shut everything down for obvious health reasons. Cibolo, the cases weren't that bad, I suppose, and so they kept practicing. But East Central shut it down, brought it back, and they played a tremendous game against Steele last week.
So speaking of the difficulties that schools have had with sports in general, there's a story behind that. How did this game actually come about, Barry? Because obviously Kerrville Tivy is not a team that we play every year, or that maybe we've never played. I'm not sure.
Probably back in the day, probably back in the 80s when East Central was a smaller school, but Kerrville is about 2 hours away. But know this, that when the district all the district schools got together from a UIL perspective, they decided that an 8-game schedule was the way to go. Normally you have a 10-game schedule, that's including pre-district, but 8 games allowed a couple of bye weeks. So, just as a just in case measure. But then just in case then hit Kerrville Tivy, and they lost this week's game. And so after the game versus Colleen Shoemaker, they then gave East Central a call. And East Central, according to athletic director Suzette Ariola, they were ready. It was tough going. They had things to do. They had to schedule custodians. They had to schedule band. They had to do a lot of things in order to get ready. But they were ready when the call was made. They did not want to miss out on an opportunity to get one more game in.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was, an opportunity. And let me stop now because let's welcome in the East Central Hornets from right to left on your screen. Here they are, your home team, East Central Hornets. Hornets being welcomed in by the East Central Golden Hornet Band under the direction of Ron Garza. And our fans here on hand, although a little bit more sparse than a normal game, we are in full support here tonight for your East Central Hornets. And there they go. They're the Kerrville Tivy Antlers, far side of the field, left to right on your screen. Tivy wearing the white shirts, gold pants. TFND is the flag they carry. And there we go. We're set up for this game. As Barry was saying, it does take a lot to get this game put together. Our coaches, our staff have done a lot of great work for this. Let's pause now for the playing of our national anthem, and we'll continue our setup from there.
American flag is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Miles. Guarding the American flag is Cadet Private First Class Song Lee Go. Carrying the Texas flag is Cadet Private Jasmine Serta. And guarding the Texas flag is Cadet Corporal Roger Caballero. Following the presentation of colors and the playing of our national anthem, in order to honor our flag and those who have served and are currently serving our nation, we ask that you join Hornet players, students, coaches, and fans and remain standing in observance until the flags have left the field in full retreat. At this time, we ask that you remove your hats as the East Central Golden Hornet Band, under direction of Mr. Ron Garza, will now play the national anthem.
All right, fans, those of you back at home on Facebook and YouTube Live, we're glad to have you back. All of our open festivities have taken place. The coin has been flipped. The national anthem has been sung. Our band has played the fight song, and we're ready to go. East Central Hornets welcoming Kerrville Tivy tonight for this non-district matchup. 27-6A, the Hornets, and I believe 15-5A. Is that correct, Barry? Do you have that? 15-5A.
15-5A.
Representative Kerrville Tivy. And I believe, if I remember the coin toss, the Tivy Antlers will be receiving from the north end of the field. As you're looking at the field, let's kind of orientate our fans at home, Barry. The north end will be the left end on your screen. If you've been here to East Central Hornet Stadium, that's the opposite end of the main scoreboard. The south end of the field, that's the right end of your screen, where you see the Hornets taking the field now. The south end is the south end. That would be the right end of your screen. Speaking of East Central Hornet Stadium and the field, Barry, looking really good tonight.
Yeah, everything's brand new. Brand new field that they put in. They have a brand new track all around. It's just really beautiful right now. Just well done. It's probably one of the good things about what we've gone through as a country. Things like this, all the building going up all around us. There's
been time to do it. Yes, sir. So it looks like number 45 for the Hornets setting up to kickoff will be number 45 is, let's check our rosters here, Barry. I don't have a 45 listed, of all things. Number 10, the kickoff returner is Fisher Middleton from Tivy. Taken down by number 8, Christopher Jones for the Hornets. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, Tivy.
Now, Tivy, in the past, of course, most people from Texas know that's where Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football came from. And since Johnny Football, they have had normally a super athletic quarterback. But in this case, all eyes are going to be on Tivy receiver. I believe it's number 2. Number 2, Jack Frazier. He's leading them in receiving, and it appears that possibly Tivy has 2 quarterbacks that they're going to be rolling out today. The sophomore that they have can really light it up. But number 2, Jack Frazier, that is the person that we're going to be looking at for Tivy, and I'm sure that's who they're going to be keying on.
Number 8, Jack Layton, is the quarterback lined up behind center now. Layton takes the snap and hands off to number 10, who gets around the outside for a gain of 4 on the play. Number 10 is Fisher Middleton. Pick up a 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 at the 39-yard line.
Tivy's not really big, but they are lean on the line. They're going to be quick. That line blocks really well. The Central lines up to the strength of the offense.
2 wide receivers up top, and they hit the outside man for a big pickup. That's going to be a 10, 20, 32-yard reception for the Tivy Antlers.
Jackson Johnston, he looked pretty good. In rhythm, looked fantastic.
And a perfect throw by number 8 quarterback, Jake Layton. That's going to put the Tivy Antlers at the 36-yard line of the Hornets, 1st and 10.
Only his 5th catch of the season, but he looked like he'd been doing it for years.
Quarterback turns to the right, sees the running back open. Little swing pass to number 10, Fisher Middleton. He picks up maybe 3 on the play. Hornet defenders, number 4, Zion LeGrant, and number 3, Trayshawn Johnson on the tackle. Set the ball at the 33-yard line, 2nd down and 7 for Tivy. Once again, 2 receivers up top for the Rattlers. What are they? They're the Antlers is what they are. Sorry. Fake to the running back. Quarterback sees the receiver wide open at the 10-yard line. And he's pushed out of bounds by Chris Jones.
An RPO, a run pass option. He faked the handoff. He read the defender coming in on him, and that receiver had just ran a fly route, stopped up just short of the end zone. Pass delivered on time, just well designed. Again, lots of quarterback option.
And that was number 87 again, Jackson Johnson, again lined up top of the field. Down below we have number 11. Quarterback hands off to the running back, and he's in there untouched for Tivy. Touchdown, Tivy. Handoff from quarterback Jake Layton to Fisher Middleton, and he runs directly through that line, and literally nobody touched him, Barry.
Not a big line again, but it's super athletic. It's like imagine a bunch of fullbacks there, just super athletic, blocked well, just nothing to stop him. Just great execution by the Antlers so far.
Point after attempt is no signal yet. Is good by Tivy.
I'm just thinking about that schedule, that preseason schedule that Tivy had. Again, Dripping Springs, pretty good school. Cal Allen, Colleen Shoemaker. I'm wondering what they are getting ready for. Their district, there's nothing like that in that district. They have pretty good district. Bernie Champion, Alamo Heights, Medina Valley, Lockhart, Floresville from around this way, just right down the street up 181. They are getting ready for something. They knew that they're going to come in here and play another 6A school 2 weeks in a row. Essential's going to have to be ready for that RPO. They seem so far to be ready for us, but it's our turn to respond.
Absolutely. Hornets set up to receive the kickoff. Looks like number 4 back deep. That's Zion LeGrant. And on the far side, we see Trayshawn Johnson, number 3, stretching the legs out. Both of those guys, Zion LeGrant, Trayshawn Johnson, are speedsters for the Hornets. Naturally, that's why they put them in the backfield. But watch when these guys get the ball. Watch for yards after receptions. Watch for some good breakout runs from those two gentlemen. Kicking off for Tivy will be number 85, Zachary Donaldson. And that was number 3, Trayshawn Johnson. Tackle made by number 27, Luke Johnston. And Johnson makes it out to the 33-yard line, it appears. We'll call it first down from the 33.
Just like you were talking about what happens after they first hit. Zion LeGrant was a running back for a long time. He of course, ran track in San Antonio as a youth. I had a chance to watch my son run with him, and watching that speed and watching the obvious running back ability that he has was definitely on display.
Penalty called on the run back there. 10-yard penalty, probably a holding or a blocking call. It's going to set him back to the 18-yard line. Quarterback Caden Bosenko, number 5, takes the ball, looks to number 11 on the sideline. It's a reception for the Hornets. Number 11 is Jack Stewart. Stop made by number 24, Jack Patterson. Tell us about Jack Stewart. Reginald Stewart goes by Jack. 2 touchdowns on the year already. I believe he's our leading receiver.
He absolutely is. He's averaging 17 yards a catch. Only 5 receptions, but 17 yards. He's a threat to make big yards every time.
Bosenko hits the running back, number 21, Juan Hernandez. Speaking of leaders, Juan Hernandez, our leading runner.
He already has 119 yards rushing, almost 6 yards a carry, 1 touchdown on the season.
So number 11, our leading receiver, number 21, leading running back. Keep those numbers in mind. Bosenko in our normal set, which is 1 running back to his right, finds a receiver for a short swing pass. That's the other running back that we'll see tonight, number 28 for the Hornets, Tadion Lott.
A little bit of improvisation by Caden Bosenko. Makes a lot of good decisions, doesn't throw many interceptions at all, but he was getting ready to run, saw Tadion, made the swing pass. Tadion made a play with his legs.
And if you're not familiar with Caden Bosenko, as an option and a very good option, he will take off with that ball himself. We have a flag after the play. Tackle made by Peyton Rice, the linebacker. Let's see what the officials have to say. It was a late flag after the tackle.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. The down will count. USA Central.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call against the Hornets. The play will stand. They'll mark off the yardage after the gain. Down to the 19. Pardon me, Barry. Go ahead.
No, that was tough. That's a momentum breaker right there. East Central has been in rhythm, looked good, looked smooth, looked fluid, and then just one mistake can turn everything around.
We got trips bottom, and we got 2 up top. 5 wide receivers lined up for Bosenko.
Empty set.
Bosenko looks left, looks over the middle, and finds a short receiver. Jack Stewart, number 11, advances out to the 28-yard line.
Tivy looks really good on defense right now, swarming to the ball just all over the place. Looks like some of those players play both ways, but they are definitely swarming to the ball, looking good, looking lean, looking fast. But East Central can match them. It looks like we can, but we're going to have to cut down on some of the penalties.
On a 4th down and 13 to go, Noah Chavez, the punter, back for East Central. And number 24 for Tivy is going to be Jack Patterson. Over the hands of Patterson. And tackled down at the 13-yard line. Christopher Jones with a big tackle.
He's had a pretty good game so far. Lots of tackles.
Christopher Jones, an outstanding cornerback. Got a lot of speed. Has 1 pick on the year, I believe, if I recall. But a solid cornerback in Christopher Jones. He's taking a wide receiver at the top of the screen. We have number 11 at the bottom of the screen is Fisher Roberts. For quarterback Jake Layton, number 8. Layton on the keeper up the middle. Stopped by several Hornets. Number 47, Marius Rosemond, and a couple of friends helped out on the tackle.
It's the first time that Tivy has tried to test the middle of the line. Everything's been out toward the edge. Lots of passes, lots of deep routes, everything out to the edge, but trying to test that middle, and there was nothing doing that time.
Quarterback keeper again. Number 47 again on the tackle, Marius Rosemond.
2 runs up the middle, 2 stops by the Hornets. Well done. They are ready. Kerrville Tivy has a quarterback kind of like Caden Masenko. He does a lot of running. So far, Layton has rushed for 16 times for 114 yards. So penalty on the play.
Referee stopped the play. So the penalty will be against Tivy, I believe. Barry, or am I misinterpreting? False start on Tivy, 5-yard penalty.
I wouldn't be surprised that Layton, that Kerrville tries to go over the top. Number 87 has been their leading receiver, Jackson Johnson. 2 big plays. Go their far side towards the visitor stands. So he's somebody to watch. But really, their leading receiver is in the backfield. He's called an H-back in the wing position.
Pass just over the top of wide receiver number 11, Fisher Roberts. That'll bring up 4th down for Tivy.
Tivy is definitely not afraid. They were going to go deep. They are ready to gamble a little bit. But it's interesting, 2 conservative plays, then trying to go deep, all the marbles. Interesting play call.
Looks like the number 21 on the kicker, Braden Green, gets the punt up. 21 on the run back as well. 21 Juan Hernandez, the running back, sends the ball back.
Hornet ball.
57 Jacob Roy, the tackler.
East Central has a short field. Let's see what we can do today.
Anston Bryant Kelly, top of the field. We haven't mentioned his name today. Big receiver in many ways for the Hornets. Bo Seiko Stubbles in the background and just gets rid of the ball.
Looks like he has one read on the play. Looking at one receiver, doesn't see it. He has freedom to tuck that ball and run. And he was he couldn't make up his mind right away. And so he made the wise decision at the end to throw it away.
Trips at the bottom of your screen. Trips left. One receiver up top is Bryant Kelly. Handoff to the running back. And he is brought down. Tadion Lott brought down in the backfield by number 1, Peyton Rice. Ball will be marked on the 41-yard line. 3rd down and 14 to go.
Just interesting looking at that line. They're not big at all, but they are tall, long, and quick on that line, shooting gap and trying to go between the gaps every single time.
Almost a very acrobatic catch by the intended receiver, number 12, Christian Vela. 4th down now for the Hornets.
I think East Central is going to be playing a game of field position. We started off at the 40-yard line, around the 40-yard line. Hopefully we can get the ball inside the 10, at least inside the 20, hold them and get a little closer next time.
It is 4th down. We don't see our normal punter, Noah Chavez. Caden Bosenko, though, will do some punting from time to time, so not sure what to expect here. He's taking a lot of calls from the sideline. So what do you think that is with as much chatter going on there? Punt or?
I think there's one of two things. Right now, they're in no man's land, meaning that they're at the 40-yard line. If they went for it and didn't make it, the ball is still in Tivy's territory, so it might be worthwhile to take that risk. But instead, they went ahead and took the penalty 5 yards back, which is probably what they thought they should do as well, to ensure that they can get a good punt off and that it doesn't roll into the end zone. Right now, they're kicking into the wind. I'm not sure if hopefully that's what they were thinking, but they're kicking in the wind. I don't know if they needed that strategy.
The punter gets a good one up. '23 was the punter, Aiden Vargas. We saw 3 different punters warming up before the game. 23 Aiden Vargas you just saw. We saw some punting from Caden Bosenko. And I believe the other one was 34. Check the number on that. But 3 different punters ready to go tonight. And here we go. East Central now on defense. Tivy setting up in their normal set. One right, one back. To the right of the quarterback. Gets the ball. And presses forward for about 1 yard. Number 10 is the running back, Fisher Middleton. Linebacker number 52, Blake Rodriguez. Defensive lineman.
So that's the Antlers strategy. They're going to be trying to run dives behind the center, behind the tackle, but setting up deeper throws because that sophomore quarterback they have, not big but very accurate.
Number 2, Jack Frazier. You mentioned him earlier, was the wing back there. Quarterback keeper. Plenty of Hornets there to stop that one after about a 2-yard gain. Give credit for the tackle to number 39. That's going to be Kenyon McClure.
Quarterback talking it up with number 2, that H-back, who has happened to be their leading receiver. But I wouldn't be surprised if he throws it to the wide out.
Pass is complete to number 7, Desnick Houston. Tackle made by number 8, Christopher Jones. And that'll be enough for the first down for Kerrville. Mark the ball at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10, Antlers. 10 yards at a time, Barry. That's all it takes.
That's all.
Quarterback with the keeper again. Fake to the running back, and he gets through. And he might be gone. No, sir. Yes, sir. He's gone. Kerrville Tivy, touchdown on a quarterback sneak. Jake Layton. 61 yards from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. Brings the score to 13-0 for Tivy, setting up for the point after attempt. 85 the kicker, correction 80, that is correct, 85 Zachary Donaldson, up and it is good. 14-0 Kerrville Tivy.
Well, I tell you what, that number 8 for Tivy, his name is Jake Layton. He has been impressive with his arm today, but he's also been impressive with his legs. But of course, they couldn't do without those big boys up front. They opened up a little crease, he shot through it, and he just was off to the races. That was quite a run.
I have not seen a lot of football this year, but I have seen some quarterbacks that might be top 2 as far as speed on their teams. I've seen a bunch of quarterbacks break it loose this year for touchdowns.
It's interesting because they really want quarterbacks to make plays with their legs. They're not simply back there to be statues to throw. Can you get defenders keyed on you? And if you can get the defenders keying on the quarterback, that opens up the field for everybody else. So now Leighton runs, Leighton scores. He said he's going to key in on him, but he has really good receivers as well.
So they want a Johnny Manziel type is what you're saying. All right, I made my one mention for the night. I'm done. Nice return by the Hornets up to the 27, 28-yard line.
For those folks who don't know about Kerrville Tivy, of course, that's the home of Johnny Manziel. Johnny football, those Texas Aggies love to hear that name. He was a scourge of everybody else because he was so good, so brash. But he definitely performed on the field.
Ball carrier for 1 yard, perhaps 2. 65, the defender for Tivy is Hayden Barnett. Second down and 8. Bosenko fakes the handoff, finds the receiver deep. Oh, almost. And there is a flag on the play. That's going to be pass interference. Wait for the official call down at the 35-yard line. Christian Vela, the intended receiver.
Not the biggest guy on the field, but he was running. He's fast.
Acrobatic, and speaking of not the biggest guy on the field, he's probably grown a foot in the last year since I've known him.
It's really cool being able to see athletes from middle school grow up in high school, just watching them grow physically, mature in the up and down the hallways. It's really interesting, just really beautiful to watch as a teacher.
Not only athletes, but all students, seeing them go through that progress of 4 years of development and going off and becoming adults, it is a nice thing. Looked like we had some confusion on the route there. Either that or Bosenko was hurried. We do have a flag on the field, far side of the field.
Looked like that might have been a back shoulder throw. Possibly the receiver wasn't quite ready for that.
Well, Bosenko was about 6 yards short on the throw, so some obvious confusion there.
Yes, the offense. Receiver was covered up by an outside receiver. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
It's one of those confusing penalties. When you have he said somebody was covered up, a receiver was covered up. Whenever you have a play, there should be 4 players in the backfield or away from the line. And so what happened was, instead of having 4 players in the backfield or behind the line, they had too many offensive players forward. So I think they only had 3 players in the backfield, which is going to be a penalty every time. But it's not a rule I quite understand why. I just know that it is a rule.
Still talking it over, perhaps trying to get the exact spot of the ball. There we have it set at the 41. Still a first down for the Hornets. You're right. They did not change the down. Just a 5-yard penalty, still first down. Bosenko drops back, and he's got a defender on him right away. Number 81 is Hayden Poe. Poe through the front line of the Hornets and all over Bosenko before Bosenko even gets a chance to look around and survey the field.
Again, looking at that front of that defensive front that Tivy has, it's only 3 down linemen. They are not big, but they're quick. They're coming hard off the ball. Just a handful.
And so much taller than our offensive line. which I think is generally the case defense to offense, isn't it, Barry?
Usually because defensive ends are normally just long and strong, but and not really just bulky. But with Tivy, just looking across the line, looking across the defense, they're athletes. We have athletes too, but it's the teams that we play. They normally nose tackle. They probably have somebody stout, a little shorter, a little more squat, strong, but they look like tight ends.
3 receivers at the top of the field, 2 down low, empty backfield for Bosenko. He's peeking right. Now he runs left, little toss to the receiver closest to the sideline is incomplete. Pass intended for number 28, Tadion Lott.
Again, another one of those RPOs, those run pass options. Back in the day, that might have been a straight option where they were running and they're just toss off to the side. But it's actually the quarterback has a decision. Can they run it? Can they pass it? Or can they option it off?
Well, that was a rare time. I didn't see much pressure on Bosenko. He might have stayed back there in the backfield and made a better decision.
It's a good idea for them to probably move him around. They're coming hard off the edge for Tivy, moving him right, moving him left, letting him run, letting him make decisions. It's smart.
Number 9, Noah Chavez with the punt. Reaches about the 35-yard line of Tivy. Let's see where the officials mark it as they do their little sideline dance.
It's interesting that both punts so far have gone to the left, gone out of bounds. We do have, looks like the wind has picked up. It is blowing from north to south, and our punter so far has been kicking into the wind. Starting to see what our Hornets can do.
Christopher Jones, top of the field, their defender. This side of the field, the corner is number 4, Zion LeGrant. Quarterback looks midfield wide open. Is number 86 for Tivy. That's Dalton Haynes.
That inside receiver, that slot receiver ran a deep end. That is pretty tough route to. The quarterback is making some outstanding throws. That's a tough throw for him to make, but he's cleaning the backfield. Nobody's getting to him. So that pass was there.
And can he make that decision when he wants to cut in just based upon the coverage?
Normally, I suppose so. It depends upon how they're coaching up the kids. But I believe that was it was there because Essential was coming back in the zone. That inside receiver was running a deep end. The only person in the way of that receiver that I saw was the referee. He ducked inside the referee. Pass was there on time.
Absolutely. The buzzer indicates the end of the first quarter. Your score after 1, 14 for the Tivy Antlers, 0 for your East Central Hornets.
Ladies and gentlemen, the concession stand is ready for all of your hungry supporters. Our booster clubs are ready to quench your thirst and relieve your hunger with many delicious treats and eats that will guarantee to satisfy your cravings. Along with our concession stand, we also have the Kona Ice Truck available as well as the D&D Kettle Corn for your enjoyment.
Here we go, second quarter. Tivy with the ball at the 42-yard line of the Hornets. 1 running back set. 2 receivers up top, 1 down below. Hand it off, no fake. And there's your quarterback again on the run wide right and out of bounds just past the first down marker. Quarterback number 8, Jake Layton. And we said he was a runner, right, Barry?
It's absolutely a runner. Again, in the mold of a traditional Kerrville Tivy Antler quarterback. Sets everybody up with deep throws, shows off his accuracy, gets the defense on their heels, then also the running lanes start to open wide up.
Quarterback keeps again. Leighton up to the 29-yard this time. Tackle made by number 10, Cornell George. East Central's leading tackler. First time we've called his name tonight. Checking our stats here, Barry. Leighton, the quarterback, is averaging 7.1 yards per carry. That's better than many running backs.
Again, because he has so many options right now. Because it just everything looks good for him. Everything's wide open. The field is cornerbacks or secondary is playing off. So he's able to run. He's able to make some decisions.
Makes the pass to the running back that time, Fisher Middleton. For a small gain, maybe. Mark the ball at the 18-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Call it 5 to go for the Antlers. Trips right. Single receiver down bottom. Hits the single receiver across the middle. Well, in a little in route, number 87 is Jackson Johnson. Number 8, Christopher Jones on the tackle. Having a good game.
He was, and that defense was good. That coverage was great. The pass was accurate. There's not much he could have done about that. The short pass directly to the receiver hits him between the numbers, and a nice tackle that time by number 3, Trayshawn Johnson. Fantastic coverage. There's nothing they could do. He threw it short. It was a little stop route by the receiver. Great coverage. Ran him out of bounds.
Gain of 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. 2nd down now, and call it 9 to go. Ball at the 17-yard line. Maddox Misi, the tackler for East Central. After a short gain by number 10, Middleton.
Just a great nose for the ball. Great tackle. Also backup quarterback. But it's a great nose for the ball.
Drop back in pursuit. Throw it up with a prayer attached to it, but not on target that time.
Nice stop by the defense.
We'll bring a 4th down now and 7 or 8 to go for Tivy. And they have a kicker that can do it. We observed him before the game making from out past the 30-yard line. This should be okay for him.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was definitely a win for East Central's defense. Tivy has been going up and down the field, and to make that stop, that is definitely a win. Let's see what type of momentum our offense can get from them.
And I like the way they did it by putting pressure on the quarterback. The quarterback has been the one that's hurting them with his running, and they did get to him that time. No good on the field goal attempt. Hornets hold. Hornets back to the bench with a little more pep in their step this time. Happy with the defensive effort they had. And Hornets set up on the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 running backs in the background with Bosenko. Bosenko mishandles, but still manages to get back to the line of scrimmage, perhaps. Might have been a loss of 1. We'll call it a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 11 to go for the Hornets. The whole Hornet line goes right, leading that running back this time. Still not much of a gain. Juan Hernandez on the carry for the Hornets.
That defensive line has just been running roughshod through us today so far. I'm going to have to make some adjustments. Looks like they're making some adjustments. They're now going with 4 down linemen. They were 3 down linemen. Empty backfield for Caden Bosenko.
3 receivers down low, 1 up top. Two up top, we should say. 5 wide receivers. Hit the short man, Jack. Jack Stewart with the reception, number 11. That's a first down for East Central.
You know what's interesting about that is that when East Central goes to an empty backfield, Kerrville Tivy counters with a 4-man rush. But that empty backfield gave Caden Bosenko lots of options. He was strong with his throw, stepped into it, first down.
Bosenko hands off to number 28, I believe. Correction, 21, Juan Hernandez. Again, East Central's leading rusher. Hernandez comes in averaging 5.7 yards per game. Caden Bosenko, the next leading rusher. Bosenko's pass over the top of the head of Jack Stewart.
It's almost there. Just gets the ball, throw it, trust the speed of the receiver. Although that cornerback covering East Central has pretty good size.
Jack Stewart, one of those multi-sport athletes that excels both in football and basketball. He can light up the show before a basketball game with his slam dunks.
2 basketball players.
Anston Brian Kelly at the top of the screen has not caught a ball tonight. That one over the middle intended for number 12, Christian Vela.
Fourth down, Hornets.
We'll bring up 4th down Hornets. Ball at the 36-yard line. 4th and 7.
I'd like to see more of that empty backfield set by East Central. I'm wondering if they are setting something up for later on.
And the punt is downed at the 31-yard line of Tivy. 1st and 10, Kerrville. Well, Bear, we talked about the strength of schedule that Tivy has met up with. So we know, and we're seeing it evident today, that Tivy can match up to those tough teams. This is a good squad.
They really are, regardless of division. They are a very good team, very dynamic on the offense. Really good work on the offensive line. They are just really clever with the ball. That defense is really something to think about, though. It's just so quick, so long, so versatile on the defensive line.
I am also very impressed with their defensive line. Hornets are going to have to do something at halftime to adjust to that. And you mentioned that empty back set might be the answer. We'll see on their next series. Quarterback set up with 1 running back in the backfield. Quarterback is number 8, Jake Layton. Layton finds a receiver over the middle, down to the 44-yard line. That's number 87, Jackson Johnson.
Been the leading receiver for Tivy so far. And I think East Central made some adjustments already. It's just they're forcing some of the shorter routes so you don't see the deeper throws. So you see some adjustments that have already been made.
Quarterback rolls right, finds the receiver downfield. That's enough for another first down. Ball to the 42-yard line. Your receiver looks like number 11 on the far side, Fisher Roberts.
Did we say that he was only a sophomore?
We did not say that. Would you like to say that?
He's absolutely only a sophomore. Rolls out right, looks strong, accurate, right in the belly. First down, Antlers.
Fisher Middleton, the running back, in the backfield with Layton. Handoff to Middleton, nothing doing, as they say in professional broadcasting.
The strength of East Central has definitely been up the middle today. There's been nothing right behind that center. We have some good linebackers. They can sniff that out well.
Number 95, the nose guard, Michael Pinones, with a big, strong tackle that time.
Speaking of sophomores, that's another one. Really talented sophomore, not simply in football, not only in football, but he's also an excellent thrower from a track and field perspective.
Two receivers at the bottom of your screen, including the leading receiver, Johnston. Quarterback fakes to the running back, runs left. He's got some field, but two defenders there. What a tackle. Big tackle by number 47 of the Hornets. And that is Maris Rosemont.
Only gain of one. Again, up the middle, there is nothing doing. He tried to break it to the outside, but they had already outflanked him a little bit.
Let's see if we can see a pattern in what EC is doing now to stop that run.
They're going to go up top. In this situation before, they have thrown it deep to number 87.
Man coverage up top. Quarterback hands off to the running back. Now there's room up the middle on this run. Number 10, the running back, Fisher Middleton, tackled by Jones, the cornerback.
That's really pretty. It's called a counter, where they fake going to one side. The running back put his foot in the grass and hand it off. He went the other way. Just beautiful run, nice pull by the guard. Almost a first down. It's 4th and 1.
Fourth down and 1 at the 34-yard line of the Hornets. Crowd yelling for the Hornets to hold. Handoff to Middleton. What a tackle. I think they stopped him, Barry.
I think you're right. And leading that charge, that was number 10. Just right there. Again, there's nothing doing in the middle of the Hornet line.
Number 10, East Central's leading tackler, Cornell George, and Hornets hold. 1st and 10, Hornets ball at the 35-yard line on a strong 4th down defensive stop by Cornell George and the East Central Hornets.
That defense is really starting to adjust to Tivy. It's really cool to watch. Let's see what that offense can do to adjust.
Bosenko with a running back at his side, hands off to that running back. He pops out of the action and tries to go for more on the far side, but ends up losing about 4 on the play. That's Juan Hernandez, number 21. Second down now for the Hornets. Looks like about 16 yards to go now for the first down. Ball at the 30. Hits Jack. Hits Jack Stewart over the middle. Pass complete. Go ahead, Barry.
I'm sorry, James, but that was such a beautiful play. Again, run pass option. Fake the dive. Saw his receiver. Threw it over the middle. Beautiful catch and run.
Absolutely. Number 11, Reginald, they call him Jack Stewart. First down, Hornets ball at the 43-yard line. Bosenko back for another pass over the top. Anston Bryant Kelly. It's a reception. Good. For a 40-yard reception, Anston Bryant Kelly, number 20 over the top.
Look at the rhythm that they're in right now. Cade Bosenko has a little pep in his step. 2 great passes in a row, which is not East Central's strength. Their strength is to run, but today they look different.
Oh, Bosenko takes one in the chops that time from number 42. Tackler is number 42, Ethan Honeycutt.
Looks like Juan Hernandez has re-entered the game. Juan Hernandez's first touchdown was against Roosevelt from about this distance.
Second down.
Ran a little dive for him. He was able to fight through some tackles during that Roosevelt game.
Second down from the 12-yard line. Bosenko sees a receiver for the Near interception that time.
Pass intended for Jack Stewart. Incomplete.
Pass intended again for Stewart. Just not enough real estate for Stewart to separate. The defender there is number 24 for Tivy. That would be Jack Patterson.
Hornets.
Third down now. We are still third and goal. Hornets must make a touchdown. No opportunity for a first down here.
Empty backfield, empty set.
Tight end on the line this time. Toss it up for Bryant Kelly. He's got it. Touchdown, Hornets. Touchdown, Caden Bosenko to Anston Bryant Kelly for a 14-yard touchdown reception. Hornets, touchdown.
You had mentioned before that we had a couple of basketball players on the team. Well, that's the second basketball player on the team, Anston Bryant Kelly, 6'4". You throw that up, there's going to be very few people able to defend that.
Noah Chavez puts it up off the left foot, and that's good for the point after attempt.
Extra point is good.
14-7 Hornets. Correction, 14-7 Tivy. After the touchdown, Bosenko to Bryant Kelly.
East Central looked a lot different on that series. Again, what we've seen all year, East Central sets up the pass by running. Well, the run hasn't really been there today, and now it's up to Caden Bosenko and the receivers to pull us through, at least so far. But that was great rhythm, great athleticism from our receivers, started off by a great pass and catch by number 11, Jack Stewart, finishing up with two wonderful catches by Anston Kelly. Anston Kelly's first catch put us inside the 20, and finally his final catch, 14-yard touchdown strike in the corner of the end zone.
All right, Barry, I'm going to put you on the spot. You are an English language arts teacher.
I am.
So I want to see if you can tell me what you mean by rhythm, by good rhythm there.
Well, the game didn't slow down. They weren't looking too hard at the sidelines. The plays were coming in so quickly. They were just ready to go. They did not let Kerrville Tivy's defense rest at all.
Well done, sir. Run back by number 24, Jack Patterson. Makes it up to the 25-yard line before he's tackled. Looks like your tackles are number 22, Angel Gutierrez, and 35, Elias de la Fuente. Tivy setting up with two wide receivers at the top of your screen. One down below is number 87, Jackson Johnston, with several catches on the day. Quarterback rolls right. And fumble on the play. Hornets recover. Hornet football.
East Central sent a blitz to linebacker, number 23, Aiden Vargas, who was able to strip that ball from the quarterback. Just fantastic work. I think that's the first blitz that I've seen all day. We're starting to see some of the adjustments that the defense is making. They're starting to sniff Kerrville Tivy out, or so it appears.
I'm going to call number 99's name. He might have been in on that fumble recovery, but if not, I'm sure his mom appreciates me saying his name anyway. That's number 99, Ray Espinosa, on the fumble recovery. Bosenko hit behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2. Defenders number 45, Garrett Klapis, and 65, Hayden Barnett.
So Essential tried to run again, but they're ready for that run. It looks like we're going to have to spend these last 35, 33 seconds with the pass.
From the 22-yard line, Bosenko in the shotgun. Hands it off to the running back, Tadion Lott. A flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
That official behind the quarterback throws it right at the tackle area,
which probably indicates a hold.
Holding against the Hornets. Will back it up another 10 yards from the spot of that foul.
So they tried to surprise him with a run with 33 seconds left, but Kerrville wasn't having it. So I'm wondering if they're going to up. Looks like empty backfield. 3 receivers right.
Oh, and we're going to call a timeout for the Hornets. Let them talk about this. You started to talk about the empty backfield. What's interesting, though, is the fifth receiver they brought in was running back Juan Hernandez.
Juan has great hands. In this offense, everybody catches, everybody eats. So bringing in an extra running back with good hands, that's fine. Plus, he can break tackles. They're going to need that. They have 2 timeouts left, 19 seconds to punch it in to try to tie this game. This is going to count. This is a very important possession going into halftime. The good news is because we kicked off, we're going to get the ball. East Central is going to get the ball the second half. But it would be nice to be able to tie things up or at least put a field goal on the board. Right now, looks like we may be out of field goal range. But if we kick a field goal here, if Central kicks a field goal here, we're at least kicking into the win, or with the win, rather.
How about you fans at home? Anybody have an idea? What's a great play we could run right here for East Central? Name your play right here. What's going to score for East Central? Post it up on Facebook, YouTube Live. Ball's about to be snapped. You better hurry or it's not going to count. Here we go. Second down and long to go for the Hornets. Bosenko deep in the backfield alone.
Anson Kelly, no one's on the top.
Bosenko with plenty of time. Bosenko focused on that defender about to tackle him, unable to survey the field downfield.
Good defense. Didn't really look up to the left side of the field. It did feel like Anson Kelly was running a fly route. We had 2 flies based upon the outside receivers running straight to the end zone. Maybe they were there, but he ultimately did the right thing. We still have 12 seconds on the clock. Throw it out of bounds, live to play another day.
Thank you. And Andre Ortega called for the fade on that last play.
Third down, Hornets.
Whistles before the snap. Officials just resetting the clock. That's why the stoppage there. Bosenko looks to the sideline, gets a play, still empty backfield. So it's, calls the quarterback draw. Bosenko.
I think they're going to kick a field goal here. I think that's what they're looking for. 6 seconds left.
And we'll have an officials timeout here.
The announcer today, before we started, said there's a third team on the field, and that, of course, is the referees. And if they are a third team on the field, they're the only ones without pads. And at times, they get hit, especially that umpire that's right behind the line. They line up about 8 yards behind the defensive line. They take a lot of punishment. But that referee, that official, got looked at, shook it off, got some water. He's ready to play next down. got to be tough. Got to be tough physically, and unfortunately, they have to be tough mentally because sometimes people can be a little tough on these guys. These guys who have regular jobs and just love the game so much. They put up with a little bit too much abuse, but at least they're down there doing a good job taking care of our athletes.
Bosenko picked up 9 yards on the last play, but they had 21 to pick up. So Noah Chavez will attempt from the 30-yard line. We talked about this before the game, Barry. We saw Chavez testing from the 32, just barely clearing the post. We'll see what happens this time.
Yeah, he is with the win and a little bit of gamesmanship from Kerrville Tivy, of course. You have timeouts left. The kicker feels good. The kicker looks good. Call a timeout. Ice the kicker. We'll see if their strategy works. But again, East Central kicking with the win should be set up pretty nicely.
That was Kerrville Tivy's first timeout, 2 remaining in the half. East Central has already used 2 of those, and they have 1 remaining. Halftime fans, we hope you stick around at your TV sets and or electronic devices and enjoy the East Central Hornet Band along with our dance squads, all lined up on the sideline, ready to go. You can take a break from me and Barry Huff there for the duration of the halftime. We're going to kick back because we're not professional announcers and we don't have a whole lot to say. We will get you updated sometime during the half on scores from other games. So my colleague Barry Huff getting on that right now. Give us some time. We'll get you some updates on scores from around the league, as they say. Noah Chavez set to kick from the 30. Ball is down. Kick is up, and it is good. Noah Chavez just clears the crossbar for a 40-yard field goal. At the half, Kerrville Tivy 14, your East Central Hornets 10.
To end the first half. Antlers 14, your Hornets 10.
Again, a special thanks to Kerrville Tivy for making the game, and I understand that it's tough to come down here. I'm not sure that many teams that are traveling some distance are bringing large contingents of their school, large bands or anything like that. But it is really a blessing to see them come out here and support their athletes.
As you see running across the field right now, that is East Central's JROTC carrying the ECHS flags while the band sets up their equipment on the sideline. A few years back, Barry, that would have been me dragging those xylophones on the field. Former percussionist at LBJ High School, Austin, Texas. Where'd you go to school, Barry?
I went here. I'm class of 91 East Central. So I did not participate with the band. I tried to play the tuba in 3rd grade at Sinclair Elementary. But the closest thing I got to the field for band, it was being a band dad for my son, which is actually pretty fun.
From the looks of it, we may not have our full band complement this evening due to rules and regulations regarding seating. We had to spread the band out a little bit, so a little bit smaller band tonight. We hope they still have the power of a full band. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Our dance teams set and ready to perform. Once that gets going, you can be free of our voices for a little while.
Good. Toha and Mei Wei Tao. Color guard officers are Co-Colonels Emma Sinclair and Felicia Vasquez. This week's section of the week is the trumpets. This week's band member of the week is Manuel Villalobos. This week's guard member of the week is Jacelyn Rodriguez. Tonight, the Golden Hornet Pep Band is proud to feature the color guard with High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. Please welcome the award-winning East Central Honeybee Varsity Dance Team and Golden Stars Drill Team. Golden Star officers are Lieutenant Colonel Cadence Allen and Colonel Pamela Cervantes Stewart. Golden Star of the Week is Liliana Santos. Honeybee officers are Second Lieutenant Ariana Ramirez, First Lieutenant Miranda Nunez, Major Juliana Moreno, Lieutenant Colonel Catherine Britz, and Colonel Zaylee Maldonado. Honeybee of the Week is Justice Mosley. Direction of Brittany Kaluga and Monica Hornke. Directors of the Hornet Band are Ron Garza, Thomas Espiriqueta, Doug Johnson, and Rick Mendoza. The Hornet Band, Honeybees and Golden Stars would like to thank Principal Shane McKay, Superintendent Rolo Toscano, and Athletic Director Suzette Ariola. Good night, and as always, go Hornets!
All right, fans, back with you on Facebook and YouTube Live. Just giving a quick recap of today's game. Tivy started off the game. Tivy starting off the game in a big way. Fisher Middleton with a 2-yard run. 10:25 in the first period for their first score. And later on in the first period, Jake Layton, quarterback, with a 60-yard run. 60-yard run with 3:09 left in the first, bringing the score to 14-0 for Kerrville Tivy.
Yeah, that first half was pretty tough. I mean, in terms of watching Tivy go up and down the field, there were just long throws, accurate throws by their sophomore quarterback. He finally, that run, that line set him up so nice. But again, outside passes, inside passes, deep ends. And then finally, when East Central was on their heels, there went that sophomore, 61 yards, 60 yards up the field.
Absolutely. And second quarter, a shift took place in the momentum. East Central made their adjustments, and Anston Bryant Kelly on a 14-yard pass from Caden Bosenko makes it into the end zone with 1:18 left, or 1:18 into the second quarter.
East Central is normally, as I said before, a team that sets up the pass with running, but Kerrville Tivy has been all over the run today. There's been no room for Tavion Lott, no room for Juan Hernandez. So they empty the backfield, and there they are, the two basketball players making great catches. I have Coach Raybon in the booth right now, pumping his fist after hearing that right there. But then Anson Kelly had two gigantic catches, sparking their first score.
Absolutely. And then toward the end of exactly at the end of the second quarter, kicker Noah Chavez makes it 10 for the Hornets, 14-10 on the successful field goal kick from 40 yards out.
Instant Brian Kelly, supported by Angela Miller Kelly. Juan Hernandez, supported by Carlos and Dora Hernandez. Angel Gutierrez, supported by Michael and Tammy Gutierrez. Aiden Vargas, supported by Brandon Potter and Brenda Cisneros. Michael Aguilar, supported by Desiree Diaz.
All right, folks at home, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the game, how this game came together, because obviously Kerrville Tivy, not a District 27-6A team. Haven't seen them playing the Hornets in quite a while, if ever. I do have East Central's athletic director, Suzette Areola, with us to talk a little bit more about that. Ms. Areola, how did this game come about? If you just start from its first inception as an idea in someone's head to what we have today.
Well, first, James, let me thank you and Barry for doing such a great job and putting this stream together for us at the last minute. As you said, this game was not on our schedule. I happened to be with Coach Hub last Friday afternoon as we were preparing for the Steel game, and he received a phone call from Coach Jones asking to see if we'd be interested in possibly playing next Friday. And he said, well, give me an hour. Let me talk to my athletic director, and we'll get back with you. So here we were getting ready for Steel, and then we're starting to think about, oh, my, we might be able to bring another game to our kids next Friday night at Hornet Stadium. And I said, well, anytime we get a chance to give our kids that opportunity to play, we're going to do that. So called Principal McKay, because, of course, he has a lot to do with what we do here on this campus, and his administration handles the security of the games for us. And so, you know, if you know anything about Mr. McKay, it's all going to be about what's best for kids.
So, yeah, from the get-go, it was absolutely a yes from you, trying to get these kids all the opportunities they could to participate in athletics this year. So, yeah, continue from there. You made the decision that, yes, we want this to happen. So how do we make it happen?
Well, there are a lot of details in making that happen. We had to make sure we got security on board, custodio, the administration, you know, and, of course, all of our workers, you guys with the streaming, the association with the officials, and then, of course, our announcer and all the color commentator that goes along with it. But everybody was all aboard, and here we are.
And not only on our side, but the same thing had to happen over on Tivy's side as well.
Absolutely. We enjoyed working with the Tivy staff this past week. They've got a streaming, I believe, side over there. They're streaming on their side, as well as maybe some radio. So this was something that's put together pretty quickly, but it's turning out to be a great game.
All right, sounds good. Coach Areola, our athletic director here at East Central High School and East Central School District. Coach Areola, is there anyone, these football games are always a great opportunity to see some folks you haven't seen in a while. Have you seen any old friends here? Is there anyone out there online you'd like to say hello to?
I just want to say hello and a big thanks to all the ADs across the state of Texas. You know, with this whole COVID thing, we've all just had to pivot left and right every day with changes, and a big thank you to UIL. This would not be possible without UIL stepping up to help us out and guiding us through these times. And then, of course, all the great superintendents throughout the state.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. ECISD's athletic director, Suzette Areola. She'll be the one riding around on the yellow bicycle if you're out here at the football games.
I'm gonna see if I can get my superintendent, Mr. Toscano, to join me. I'm gonna get a matching bike for him and Mr. McKay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Coach Areola.
And now for our senior honeybees.
So people can hear us?
Isabella Alvarado, supported by Joyce and Michael Alvarado. Zaylee Maldonado, supported by Chris and Griselda Maldonado. Justice Mosley, supported by Karina Williams and Joseph Mosley. Ariana Ramirez, supported by Yasmin Martinez and Javier Ramirez. Alyssa Scott, supported by Cynthia Foreman and Edmund Long. Mia Megalins, supported by Melissa Flores and Michael Megalins. Wesley Rodriguez, supported by Ron and Ruth Rodriguez. Aurelia Rodriguez, supported by Lauren and Eduardo Rodriguez. Catherine Briggs, supported by Tommy and Wendy Briggs. Miranda Nunez, supported by Amy Don. Jocelyn Bernard, supported by Robin and Tommy Scott. Ashley Calzonzi, supported by Blanca and Fernando Calzonzi. Genevieve Clint, supported by Tiffany Clint. Trista Rock, supported by Jennifer and Sandra. Congratulations.
And fans, once again, there are some fans from the Tivy area listening to our broadcast. So a couple of updates for Tivy fans and for East Central fans. Let's start off with the Floresville Southside game, which holds some importance to Tivy. At the half at Eschenberg Field, it's Floresville 10, Southside 7.
Southside Powerhouse in San Antonio for a while. We have Lavernia right down the street. Lavernia 22, Somerset 10 at the half.
Once again, both of those games important to Tivy as they will play both of those teams. One game canceled in 27-6A was the Wagner Steel game canceled tonight or postponed. So we'll look forward to that game in the future here.
And then there's Brandeis and Clark. At the half, Brandeis 25, Clark 0.
Brandeis might be the team from San Antonio that goes the farthest this year from what I'm seeing from Brandeis.
We have MacArthur, Northeast. We have MacArthur, Northeast, 0. Johnson, 35 at half. Wow. Also from around our area, we have Nixon Smiley, 2. Poth, 26.
I hear you say the name Poth every once in a while. Barry Huff, big team?
It is a great team from here. Now, they run into, in the playoff, they go pretty deep, and then they play teams like Refugio or something like that. Refugio is just amazing.
Alamo Heights on Tivy's schedule, playing New Braunfels Canyon. Second quarter at Cougar Stadium in New Braunfels, 7-0 Canyon.
Which is interesting. It's kind of like our game. Alamo Heights is in Kerrville Tivy's district, and the Braunfels Canyon, our district.
Roosevelt Rough Riders, who we played 2 weeks ago. Start time at 7 o'clock on the 17th. Is that today, Barry? That would be tomorrow. Lee Roosevelt. So no score, obviously, from them yet. Anything else stick out on the highlights for you, Barry? How about my alma mater, Austin LBJ, 13-0 over Fredericksburg.
We have Lytle and Cotulla at the half. Lytle 10, Cotulla 0. Oh, Stockdale right up the street, about 30 minutes away from East Central. Stockdale 15, Dilley 0. I will say this. I know that we're giving a lot of scores out, but I was really proud last year. I saw the finest football game I had ever seen. It was a playoff game featuring Shiner and Refugio.
At Judson's Comalander State.
Judson's Mount
Rutledge Stadium, yes, sir. I was there with you, Barry. I would agree. One of the best high school games I've ever seen. Speaking of great high school games, here's a great high school team. Your East Central Hornets back on the field, running right to left on your screen, ECHS.
the public address announcer at that incredible comeback by Refugio against Shiner. Shiner, I believe, should have won that game, but Refugio, there was no quit. The public address announcer was the man sitting next to me, James Bryant. James Bryant made the call. It was just a wonderful, wonderful game, and I hope that there's some opportunity to do that this year as well.
Great opportunities, fans, for you to make some teams around the area your favorites. Of course, East Central always your number one favorite, but spread your interest around, learn a little bit more about Texas high school football. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's true. I believe that East Central will be receiving the second half.
And on the field now, carry the TFND flag is the Kerrville Tivy Antlers, far side of the field.
Thank you so much to the person on the live stream that told me what TFND stands for. Found out that it means Tivy Fight Never Dies. I like that. But let's see what happens the second half. We have 24 minutes to make it a game, and it's going to be an absolute slugfest this second half. East Central made the appropriate adjustments the second quarter, shutting out Tivy. Tivy looked unstoppable that first quarter, but let's see what adjustments both teams have made at halftime.
Well, you said, Barry, that East Central's style is to use the run to set up the pass, but I don't know. Do we try to set it up again? Our pass has been successful in the second quarter. Do we go straight to that or start off with the run again?
That's a good question. I'm thinking that they're going to try to run a little bit because that's just their MO. That's who they are. But those receivers are looking mighty confident against the Tivy secondary.
Let's set up the field for you. Back deep for the Hornets. Number 4 is Zion LeGrant. Number 3, Trayshawn Johnson. And they'll receive the kick from number 85 from Tivy, Zachary Donaldson. Donaldson with a short kick. Trayshawn Johnson, number 3. 40-yard return up to the 45-yard line of Tivy. First down, Hornets. Number 85, the kicker, pushes Johnson out of bounds. First and 10, Hornets at the 45-yard line of Tivy. There we go. There's your answer. Bo Senko with the empty backfield. Looks right as short receiver. Number 12 this time, Christian Vela.
He's been looking for Christian Vela all night. He tried to throw a post route earlier in the game to him that turned out to be pass interference. Finally, it's good to see him get a little out.
Christian Vela can wind his way in and outside of those defenders. He's a very acrobatic receiver, and he's generally got good hands. Throw this time to the left-hand side. Tadion Lott on the reception and more. Tadion Lott down to the 20-yard line. 22-yard reception by Tadion. Go ahead, Barry.
28 seconds all the way down the field. 2 passes, no runs, still an empty backfield. East Central has found something.
Once again, empty backfield trips to the bottom. That's the right side of the East Hornet formation. Bosenko finds number 20, Anston Bryant Kelly in the end zone. Touchdown, Hornets. Touchdown, East Central.
36 seconds. Touchdown, Hornets.
22-yard reception to the big tall man, the basketball player, and, of course, wide receiver, Anston Bryant Kelly.
That is the reason why you would go with an empty set. An empty set, that means there are 5 receivers that have to be guarded. No zone can stop that. You have to go man-to-man, and if you have a 6'4 receiver, you throw it up to the 6'4 receiver. Let that 6'4 receiver be athletic.
Somewhere out there, East Central basketball coach James Raven shedding a tear. for his big man, Anston Bryant Kelly. Noah Chavez set for the extra point after. Kick is up, and it looks good from here. Referee indicates it is good.
Antlers 15, Hornets 17.
17-14 Hornets.
Oh my! Has the personality of East Central now changed? Again, running to set up the pass, now simply passing, opening that field up, going down and attacking the defense, putting pressure on them, making that secondary make plays on the ball.
And Barry, not only is that a change for this game, but that's a change over years of East Hornet pounding it up the middle, running those running backs and seeing what happens. I like it. Let's see if it continues to work.
It's interesting because they do have talented running back. I mean, Juan, also known as JJ, Juan Hernandez, runs that ball hard. Tadion Lott, just a jitterbug, just so quick off the ball. They have talent in the backfield. But this first play, or this first series, they got the ball to their running back, Tadion Lott. He made a great catch, and then most importantly, he got that ball in rhythm and was able to use his speed and his elusive ability to get extra yards. Oh my gosh, something has changed. Different identity entirely.
We will have to keep those good running backs. No team will be complete without them. But great to see that variety. Great to see the passes up top, long passes to long receivers. Makes for an exciting game for sure.
Congratulations. Good adjustment by the offensive coordinator.
Number 45 set to kick for the Hornets is not listed on my roster. And it's not listed because that's not his number. 49, Daniel Gauna, the kicker. Flag in the air indicates that the ball was kicked out of bounds, which is a penalty.
Yeah, legal procedure. So they have a choice. They can re-kick it, or they can actually bring the ball out, I believe, to the 30-yard line.
Back in the day, Barry, that used to be a strategy for kickers, is to kick it as far down and, try to get it out of bounds and within the 10-yard line. But we'll replace it at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 at the 30. These days, it is a penalty to kick it out of bounds.
Well, let's see what Tivy's going to do, because they've been talented. That sophomore quarterback has been great today.
Sophomore quarterback Jake Layton, yes. With a reception to the receiver on the far side.
So what East Central's doing, they're playing off of the receivers. They're giving a lot of respect to receivers. But that strategy is okay if you have people who can close on the ball. And in that case, you saw how fast that secondary could close on the ball. They made the catch.
Dalton Haynes, the receiver on the last play. He sets up in the slot low for Tivy. Jake Layton, the quarterback, with one running back. He hands it off to that running back, number 10, Fisher Middleton. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Up the middle. They've tried to test that middle again and again, only to be pushed back by that East Central defensive front.
Officials set it at the 37-yard line for a 3rd down and 3. Trips left is the call for Tivy. Still one running back who protects the quarterback as he rolls left, sees the receiver downfield. Number 2, it is caught. Reception at the 36-yard line for number 2, Jack Frazier, who I believe, Barry, you set it up as the leading receiver for Tivy.
He is their H-back. H-backs traditionally will just lead blocking, or act as an extra blocker in the backfield. But they moved him out of the backfield. Now they're in trips right, and that is where he's starting to get his yards. He's in the slot.
Jack Frazier, we're talking about, number 2 in the slot. Gets open over the middle. Nope. Quarterback keeper this time by Layton. A good runner in his own right. Big yardage from Layton over the season. Marked the ball at the 35-yard line Second down now and 8 for Tivy.
Beautiful job by the linebackers to seal it up. That number 47, that defensive end, really, Rosebond has done a really good job tonight trying to spy on number 8. Anything up the middle, nothing doing.
And handoff, run to the left side of the line this time. Jake Layton pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
That was cool because what they did was they faked the jet sweep. East Central knows all about jet sweeps. That's part of their normal playbook. But they faked the jet sweep. He went to the short side of the field, got some good yardage, 3rd and 2.
Layton with running back in the backfield. Layton keeps again. Finds a hole up the middle, but dragged down. Looks like probably enough for a first down for Tivy. Flag on the field.
Flag on the play.
Number 90, Sebastian Martinez and others in on the tackle for the Hornets. Penalty looks like it's going against Tivy as they, well, let's wait and see for the officials. Holding against Tivy is the call. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. This ball recovered by number 10 from Tivy, Fisher Middleton.
The defense holds again. Fantastic work by the fellas up front. Almost a fumble recovery. We'll see what happens here. Number 24 is also their cornerback.
Tivy quick to the line. Apparently setting up for the punt. Apparently I said, oh, he does end up punting it.
Yes.
33, the return man for the Hornets is Calvin Solis. Not much of a return. Will spot the ball at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10, Hornets.
I see J.J. Hernandez or Juan Hernandez in there. Oh, trips left.
Trips left. We have Bryant Kelly up top. 21, J.J. Hernandez, and 12, Christian Vela set up at the top of the formation for the Hornets.
They have a tight end on the right side. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a designed quarterback run.
To the right?
To the right.
Not a design run to the right, but there's Boseco running right anyway. Boseco hit. The fans call for a flag on that, claiming Boseco was hit out of bounds, but no flag.
Well, in any case, it's never wise to argue with the official. It's not wise to show up the official. The official called it. That's not going to change his mind. Next play, let's go.
2nd down and 6. Ball at the 21, 22-yard line. Boseco tosses it out to J.J. Hernandez. Incomplete. The defender on the far side looks like number 9 for Tivy, Dalton Counts.
3rd down.
JJ might have heard Dalton's footsteps approaching.
And now we have Tadion Lott in the slot. We have number 12, Christian Vela.
I like Jack Stewart over on the right side.
Nobody on top. They see him.
Safety moving across the field now, sets up at the center of the field. I still like Jack there, throwing for Jack Stewart. Oh, well defended that time by number 24 from Tivy, Jack Patterson.
Fantastic defense. Fantastic. He had him just in position to run out of bounds. It was just beautiful job. So that punter, who's also a cornerback for Tivy, number 24, Jack Patterson, is now back to take punts.
Number 23, Angel Gutierrez, back to punt. Bosenko still in the lineup. We'll call off the count. It's a fake. No, it's not. There is a flag on the play, though.
Probably a hold.
Ball to the 45-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. It appears to be against the Hornets. Bear, we were talking about earlier before the game how the East Central punters don't take a straight-on approach. They'll trot to the right 3 or 4 yards and then kick it from there.
It's called a rugby style. What it does, James, when we were talking, James had mentioned that it's probably used to avoid punts, but absolutely avoid punts and potentially set up runs, fake punts. Great defense by number 8, who has had a pretty good game after that first quarter.
Christopher Jones, the cornerback on the stop, was talking about those punts. That's what confuses me every time, because to me, every time East Central does that, I'm calling a fake. But something I got to get used to.
Did you see that receiver that they threw to? That number 87, Jackson Johnston. Was he the leading receiver of the first half? That is why he's getting open. He is a big guy, big fella.
He's tall. Christopher Jones goes probably 6'2", and this guy's a good 2 inches taller than him. Handoff this time to the running back, Fisher Middleton. Middleton gains 3 yards on the play with a stop by number 33, Calvin Solis. Number 4, Zion LeGrant, the corner at the top. Christopher Jones, the corner down bottom on number 87, Jackson Johnston. 1 running back in the backfield. 2 receivers on the left slot. Toss it up. Johnston all alone. How can he be left all alone like that?
Well, because they weren't playing man. They weren't playing man defense. They were playing quarters, meaning that they were the receiver or the secondary drop back, and they each have like they split the field up into 4 parts. And based upon what they were seeing, I think the cornerbacks actually peeked in the backfield for the fake that was given, and Johnson was able to sneak past it.
Johnston 4 yards apart from the closest defender. And a diving play into the end zone by running back number 10, Fisher Middleton. Touchdown, Tivy. Middleton could have run straight in, but he says, I'm going to need to put a little punctuation mark on this. Hop up, make it into the end zone for sure. Touchdown, Tivy.
I don't think that was that wasn't showboating a little bit. He actually got chopped under a little bit, got tackled under a little bit, and he went to the air. But it was actually a good athletic play by that young man.
And with the extra point, our score now 21 for Tivy, 24. Score being corrected here. 17 for the Hornets.
This is an outstanding game. This is what you want. Again, when Kerrville came here, they wanted to play. They wanted to really open up their offense. They wanted to open up their playbook. They probably do the same thing against all the teams that they face. East Central is absolutely game. It's 6 minutes, 35 seconds left in the third quarter, and it's the most points that East Central has scored all year. Or the second most points East Central scored all year. 20 versus Roosevelt, 6 versus Steele. Steele, very tough team. Just a wonderful, wonderful game.
Very good game. And we're learning things about the Hornets. Once again, only the third game. A lot of new players on the Hornets squad this year. Lost quite a few seniors, so we're getting to know a couple of these young men for the first time. 85, the kicker, Zachary Donaldson. Able to get it to the deep man. Number 4, Zion LeGrant. Zion up the middle to the 35, 36-yard line before he's tackled by number 35 and number 20. 35 is Chris Rodriguez, and number 20, Ronald Hanneman. It's always fun to watch these kick returners, Barry. They'll get a running start, top speed after 5 yards, and then the creativity begins. We have a foul on the play against the Hornets. Was it a holding?
Looks like a legal block in the back. But I do love the creativity. I do love that when they start feeling strong, like, oh, my gosh, I have a hole. And they start running tall and long, and you know something's going to happen. But in this case, the hole's opened up because, unfortunately, a legal block in the back.
Different formation now. We've got up top, we've got Bryant Kelly and Jack Stewart. Normally Jack Stewart's on the near side of the field, opposed from Bryant Kelly. Trips left, though, however, this time.
Yeah, Christian Vela joining them on that side.
And a handoff to the running back for a pickup of 5 yards. I like the call.
It was a beautiful call. It was strong side left. Everybody was on the left. They ran a little counter. JJ did a great job finding the hole. The offensive line was true, stayed true, gained 6 yards on that play.
Call it 5, 2nd down and 5 now. Bosenko with an incomplete pass.
Kerrville Tivy is playing a little close, a little press coverage, and that receiver probably peeked up a little bit early, and he didn't watch that ball into his hands.
So staying with the trips left here. 3 plays in a row.
I wouldn't be surprised if they run it again, simply because of where they are. Wouldn't be surprised if JJ gets the ball again.
Very interesting because number 11, Jack Stewart, was having great success over here on the left-hand side of the field. Correction, on the right-hand side of the line.
They did maybe offsides.
Flag on the play this time.
They're probably trying to, as far as having the trips on one side, they're probably trying to emphasize that the person who's burned them has been Brian Kelly. And if there's an emphasis there, maybe the offense, the defense will cheat over to that side a little bit, have too many people on that side, and it'll break open the counter. And they have JJ, who leads them in rushing, and he's a north and south runner. They'll zone block, or they'll block. The offensive line will block together, and JJ can read those holes well. I would not be surprised that this is another run. Again, trips left, all the strength to the left, only to bounce JJ for a run. Hopefully a good run.
JJ Hernandez is due for one. Hasn't had a very productive game, let's say, yet, but still due for a big one from JJ Hernandez.
Yeah, you never give up on the run. You never, even though the pass is there, you have to make sure that the backs are fed, the running backs are fed, because later in the game, the offensive line starts leaning on that defensive line. They're getting tight.
Illegal snap on this offense. False start on the offense. Encroachment on the defense.
Penalties negated. Are they offset? Nothing happened. 3rd down.
So I wasn't correcting myself, fans. All 3 of those penalties were called. Bosenko with 3 receivers up top. We call that trips left. The running back, J.J. Hernandez, to his left of the backfield.
See how the
linemen take their position down.
On the right side of the hash, there's no one there.
Bosenko hands off to J.J.N. He tests the middle of the line and maybe gets 2 on the play up to the 17-yard line.
That was the right call. That was indeed the right call. Unfortunately, didn't appear to get enough yardage, but I would have run the exact same thing. But then again, what I know, I was a bench rider in every sport that had a bench.
There are a few of those out there. There
are way more of those than they're actually good, unfortunately. But we all pretend to know what we're talking about.
Hornets switch players, setting up for the punt with only 1 yard left to go. No chance for a fake this deep in their own territory, right, Barry?
No, because normally a fake would involve running up the gut, and Kerrville Tivy has proven that defensive front has been too formidable for that. But then again, it's still too early in the game.
Flag on the play. Somehow I've managed to mention a fake on every punt attempt that East Central has set up.
That's interesting, though. They called a timeout. I don't know if the play clock was winding down, but I wouldn't. You call a timeout only if the play this deep, if the play clock is winding down, or if you're thinking about doing something. Maybe a fake, but it's just if they are not successful, the Antlers do a great job of eating up yardage, and if they're stopped, the Antlers would only have 20 yards to go for a touchdown. So
absolutely,
I'm still thinking that it's going to be a punt. I'm kind of hoping that'll be a punt.
Punter number 23, Aiden Vargas, back for the Hornets. Vargas, I believe, is our at least was last year, one of our goalkeepers for our East Central soccer team. One receiver back to receive the punt. Snap to Vargas. Attempt made on the block, but Vargas gets the punt off and takes a big East Central roll. That's going to be a 45-yard punt in the air with another 10, 12 yards on the roll. Big punt from Aiden Vargas.
That's exactly what we needed. Punch that ball out of there. The ball is on the Antler side of the field. 1st and 10. Let's go Hornets.
That really is a big punt. That's college-level punting, isn't it, Barry? 45 yards in the air?
45 yards in the air. You probably want to see a little bit more arc on that ball, but there is no denying that distance.
Kerrville Tivy sets up at the 32-yard line in their end of the field. Quarterback number 8, Jake Layton, calls for it. Sends a pass short. It's picked off. Flag on the play, but it's a pickoff, an interception for the Hornets. Number 10, Cornell George on the interception. Hornet ball.
That was an ill-advised throw, but I can understand why he threw it.
I tell you what, there was a mess in the middle. There were 2 defenders, 2 receivers. They were all mixed up, tripping over each other. Quarterback chose to throw it anyway.
Well, he chose to throw it because who was over there was that big, tall number 87. To throw it up, he was the only receiver there on the outside. There's nobody behind him. And if he makes that play, it's going to go for the distance. But the East Central's defense was there to make a great stop.
Nice hands by number 10, Cornell George, taking the deflection and making something happen for the Hornets. There was a penalty on the play after the reception, illegal block in the back. So that'll move the Hornets back. 1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line. Caden Bosenko trips right. One receiver up top is Bryant Kelly. Looking straight at Bryant Kelly. Tosses over the middle on the short crossing play. That is a 9-yard gain, maybe 10 if the refs are generous, to Anston Bryant Kelly.
It does appear that they are indeed generous. That is 1st and 10.
Nice spot for the Hornets. Hornets hurry back into position. Not exactly a hurry-up offense, but they're not wasting time.
Well, now they're going to have to reset the chains. Now the referee's pointing his palm to the sky, telling him to reset the play clock.
All right, so there's an issue.
Okay, that is an official's timeout. The official timeout. Again, when he points he pumps his fist to the sky. That's telling the play clock operator to reset the.
Well, so what happened, Barry, is they did signal for the play clock to be reset. Bosenko then called for the snap, and right at the same moment, the referee signaled to wind the clock with a whistle. They blew the whistle, and that pretty much had to kill the play. All the players heard the whistle, but
Good eye,
bit of a confusion.
Good eye, James. Good eye.
And still a bit of confusion here.
Well, this is important. The crowd doesn't like this, but most importantly is that those 7 officials on the field are together, and I like this. So that guy in the white hat, he's in charge. He's making sure that his crew's right.
Another reason you don't like it as a Hornet fan is they were once again developing that rhythm that you mentioned earlier, with a little bit of pep in their step when going back up to the line, urgency to get the play going.
That's true.
They're in their zone, you could say, and things are going well. Might as well keep it going at a rapid pace there. Caden Bosenko back 5 yards from the center, hands out to receive the ball, looks deep, and finds the receiver.
Oh! On the carry, number 32.
Pass complete to 32, Zachary Shook. And then Shook did some shaking of himself. Did some shaking himself on the hit for that defensive player. Zachary Shook with a first down. Hornets at the 29-yard line of Tivy.
That's good for him because he's a tight end, and in East Central's offense, he's a blocking tight end. Not getting a lot of catches, but those tight ends know what to do when they have the ball.
And once again, we're having difficulty with the chains getting moved here, and the Hornets' momentum being placed on pause at the minimum.
There seems to be some issue with the officials. Again, they're talking it over. Everything seems to be right or not right.
And now a false start against the Hornets. Hornets got to be saying, come on now. So regroup. What's done is done. Penalty on the Hornets. Let's make the best of this 1st and 15 now.
So they have that trips left set, JJ in the backfield, but JJ's now on the right side of the quarterback. That is very interesting. He was on the left side, and he ran to the right side.
Agreed.
This might be a power or counter.
Jack Stewart, the inside, pardon me, Barry. Jack Stewart in the slot. Handoff to JJ, and he runs to the left side where he's got the blocking, but Tivy defenders are there.
That line is just too explosive for us on a slow developing play like that.
Second down.
So now, looks like they're going empty backfield.
Empty backfield this time for Caden Bosenko. Reginald Stewart closest to the sideline on this end of the field. JJ and Christian Vela accompanying him on the right-hand side. Bryant Kelly, top of the screen. Caden Bosenko over the middle. Christian Vela, reception.
Deep in, out of the slot. Christian Vela looking a lot like Julie Edelman of the New England Patriots.
Exactly. I told you earlier, Christian Vela will make those acrobatic catches. He slid down. He was laying on the ground when he caught that one, Barry.
Bosenko put the ball only where he could catch it. Great catch by
Bosenko dumps one off to the left-hand side there.
Tadion Lott.
Tadion Lott, the receiver. 6 yards on the completion. Second down now and 4 for the Hornets. Notice the Hornets in a hurry-up set. Bosenko ready for the snap. Looking right the whole way. Checks left. And dumps it off for a 6-yard reception.
Little shovel pass counts as a pass. Smart. And you don't see a lot of interceptions from Caden. He makes good decisions. When he can't make the throw, he'll start to use his legs. Rolled out of the pocket. They started to collapse on him. Had an open receiver. First down, Hornets.
First and goal it is from the 7-yard line. Hornets will have 4 opportunities now to make a touchdown and bring the lead to their favor. Caden Bosenko, 3 receivers right. Bryant Kelly, the top of your screen. I call fade to Bryant Kelly. No! Right through the fingertips of number 12, Christian Vela.
The pass was there. A little bit too much heat, but the pass was there. I like to see that play run one more time because it looks like they're now double teaming Bryant Kelly. There's somebody on the top of Bryant Kelly. There's no one on top of number 11 on the other side, Jack Stewart.
Too much spice on the throw from Bosenko. Now we're going three receivers up top here. Jack Stewart down below. Look left. Oh!
Bounced off his helmet, Tadion Lott.
Tadion Lott, much shorter than the 2 defenders covering him. Almost had that one.
Pretty accurate throw. Wonderful throw.
Wonderful throw. Bosenko had to throw it over 2 taller defenders into the hands of the shorter Tadion Lott. Almost there. Third down and goal for the Hornets. All pass now for the Hornets. Unless we get a draw play here for Bosenko. No. Into the hands of Austin Bryant Kelly. Touchdown, Hornets.
Wow.
You might expect a fade on that one from Austin Bryant Kelly, but he turns it in toward the post. Touchdown, Bryant Kelly.
That's the second time that they've ran that little slant route. He is open every time. He's big, he's tall, but he also can collapse and catch those balls down low. Fantastic throw, great catch, touchdown, Hornets.
Noah Chavez, number 9, set up to kick the extra point. Up and good off the left foot, that is, of Noah Chavez.
Antlers 21, Hornets
24-21, East Central.
The first quarter, I was not expecting this. I was thinking, uh-oh, 14-0. And now here we are almost at the end of the third quarter, and this is a game. Hornets, 24 points. Antlers, 21 points. Back and forth. This is what we need on a Friday night to take us away from thinking about what we as a nation, as a country, as a world have been going through these past few months. Just good old-fashioned kids in Halloween costumes.
Absolutely.
Playing football.
Nothing better on a Friday night in Texas than some high school football. Hope you're enjoying it. All of you at home on Facebook and YouTube Live. We have maybe 1 or 2 more games we'll be doing this year, Barry. And we're glad to have you all with us. New thing for Barry and myself this year. As you can tell, we really enjoy what we're doing. You don't hear us laughing half as much as we actually are because we have a switch to flip when we do that. That's number 10, the running back, Fisher Middleton. And he advances to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tivy Antlers.
Now, the last time up, Tivy's quarterback, that sophomore, golly, he's been good today. Jake Layton threw a bad pass, but he trusted his receivers, trying to make a play for his receivers, something that you would expect a sophomore to do. make some decisions like that. But other than that, he has been very solid. We'll see if I think he's going to run today, this play right here.
Running back goes in motion. Little swing pass to that running back on the left-hand side. Middleton for a decent gain. Effective play.
It's an effective play because number 87, who is leading them in receptions and yards, Jackson Johnson, had a great seal block on the edge there.
Leading in receptions, Jackson Johnson, but he has not caught one in a good quarter of play. Middleton with the handoff again.
Number 47. How many times have we called his name tonight? Number 47, Marius Rosemond with another tackle.
And the buzzer that you may or may not have heard at home indicates the end of the third quarter. The score at the quarter, 24-21, your East Central Hornets. Barry Huff, my colleague, and myself, James Bryan, on our YouTube and Facebook broadcast here from beautiful Hornet Stadium here at East Central High School. We're down on the east and central side of San Antonio. Therefore, the name East Central High School. I was saying that mostly for our Tivy fans who are also on board with us this evening. We're a little bit out there in the country, but glad you found us here today. Glad you found us online, and hope you're enjoying our broadcast of Kerrville Tivy and East Central.
East Central has press coverage on the receivers. No one over the top. This is how Tivy scored a touchdown last time.
Press coverage one-on-one, but up close to them. Get the little bump on the receivers within 5 yards, but it's a handoff anyway. And not enough for the first down if I can see the correct mark there.
Tivy might actually go for this. They could because it's in no man's land. But it does appear they're going to punt.
Appears they're going to punt. As you said, they're near midfield, so not in terrible position if they don't make it, if they went for it, but they're set up for the punt. And I fully expect that from number 24, the punter, Jack Patterson. It's funny how I never mention the fake when Tivy kicks, but I seem to always mention it when East Central does. Flag on the play.
Delay of game.
Delay of game should be the call against Tivy. That is the call, 5-yard penalty. And that'll make it now 4th down and 6 to go rather than the 1. J.J. Hernandez will move up another 5 yards to receive it.
JJ thought about picking it up, smartly backed away. Ball down at the Hornet 20-yard line.
Special thanks to all our fans on the chat right now. Shout out to Mr. Michael Viator. Let's go Hornets. Nice drive, Hornets. Thank you for your support, Mr. Viator. Andre Ortega making the quarterback draw call a little earlier. Thanks for your input, Andre. JJ, 21 on the call. On the run with a 15-yard gain. First down, Hornets.
Good blocking by the big boys up front, bringing JJ on that run.
Hernandez on the carry.
2 big runs by J.J. Hernandez. They're putting a saddle on his back at this point, trying to draw on the defense. Maybe one more run, maybe a fake. Trips left.
27, Luke Johnson on the stop that time.
Trips left.
Handoff to the running back. Up the middle. Number 21, J.J. Hernandez for another East Central first down.
Big chunks of yardage. That is what happened. They set up the run with the pass. That is opposite of what East Central's doing. I wouldn't doubt. Oh, timeout, Tivy.
Timeout, Tivy.
They're going to make adjustment. They're going to make an adjustment. And it quite possibly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fade route to the end zone, Anston Kelly, or number 11, Jack Stewart.
Go for it all on this play, you're saying?
Maybe. It'd be kind of exciting. But then again, they're starting to get good runs. The offensive line is really starting to gel because, again, that Tivy defensive front is athletic, and they've proven it time and time again. So some adjustments have been made, and now the East Central offensive line is getting the lean on them. Some double teams, some A blocking, and are springing JJ. Now Tadion Lott. Tadion Lott does not normally run straight ahead and hard like JJ. He's a little bit more shifty, a little bit more quick.
Lott set up at the right of Caden Bosenko. Trips left. That means 3 receivers to the left. Hand off to Tadion Lott. He runs left behind those receivers. Tadion Lott makes a move, makes another one down to the 25-yard line. A 20-yard run by Tadion Lott. First down, Hornets. And the Tivy defenders come through on that play. Number 1, Peyton Rice, along with number 40, Connor Scherer.
The way that you stop a run is with a run blitz. So they blitz them on that pack. The linebackers came up to help the defensive line. But that means if they do that, then they're going to be susceptible to passes, especially tight end drags.
4-man front. The 2 linebackers came through that 4-man front and hit the running back. Tadion Lott again on the inside. Picks up a few before he's tackled by number 43. Correction, number 40, the tackler, Connor Scherer.
So East Central finds itself in a passing down. They got all this way with nothing but runs, huge runs from 3 runs from J.J. Hernandez, Juan Hernandez, Tadion Lott, and now empty backfield.
Stewart down below. They find him open. Stewart.
Wide open.
Jack Stewart wide open on the left-hand side. Touchdown, Hornets. Reginald, call me Jack Stewart, with a touchdown from Bosenko.
That unfortunately was for Tivy fans was a gift from Tivy. Was a blown coverage assignment. For East Central fans, that was a gift. He was uncovered the whole way. Somebody did not do what they needed to do in the secondary.
Point after attempt, good. Noah Chavez adds one more to the score, making that score now 31-21 Hornets. You're right, Barry. We saw it all the way as I was just about to announce his name, Jack Stewart, down here on the near sideline. I noticed no coverage on Jack, and no coverage followed him either. He was wide open in the end zone.
And now East Central knows they can run the ball. 8 minutes left. They can make a stop here. Even if Tivy scores, we're still in a good position. But hopefully the defense will hold. They've done a great job since the first quarter. Let's hope that there's a lot of pride left, a lot of energy left in those young men on the field.
.45, the kicker for the Hornets. 49, the kicker, Daniel Gauna. Middleton on the return, tackled by number 8 for the Hornets, Christopher Jones. 84 also in on the tackle is Jonathan Martinez.
This is where the attrition of a 6A team becomes a strength against a lower division team like Kerrville Tivy. Not that Tivy is any less talented, but if you look at the sidelines, you'll notice that there's just not the same number of players. So Essential, bigger school, more substitutions. Tivy, they don't have as many substitutions. They've been battling all week in practice and things like this where the third or fourth quarter we start to break it open a little bit.
That's a new running back for Tivy, or a less frequently used running back. It's actually number 86, Dalton Haynes, normally a wide receiver. And he sets up in the wide receiver spot. Also with number 11 down low, Fisher Roberts. I will probably put number 87, Jackson Johnston, up top. They look for Johnston. Johnston holds their defender off, but overthrown.
Yeah.
Christopher Jones, the defender, but Johnston did have a step on him.
He sure did. It was a great move at the line. When you have press coverage, it's good to put hands on that defender within that 5 yards, or at least try to break their route. But Johnston has proven that he is fast, he is strong, he's quick with his hands, and he's going to break. Press coverage, nobody over the top. Same play.
Leighton hands off to number 10, the running back, Fisher Middleton. Middleton finds a big hole, still on his feet. And Fisher Middleton all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Hornets. A 34-yard run for Fisher Middleton, running back for Tivy.
Biggest run since the quarterback 61-yard touchdown scamper.
Look over the top for 87. Just not the accurate pass that you need on that one.
Well, the cornerback had released the receiver to the safety. The safety did a great job meeting the receiver at the ball. If he was there any sooner, that would have been pass interference. But great timing by the safety, number 33.
Calvin Solis, the safety, number 33, just giving a little small lane along the sideline for Johnston to run in. And set up the next play. Quarterback Jake Leighton with one running back on his right-hand side. That's number 14, the running back this time, who picks up at least 5 on the play. Number 14 is Cooper Dwenenberg. Marius Rosemont on the tackle.
These fresh running backs they brought in are quick. They look strong.
Short pass on the play. 86, he's going to be just short of the end zone. Number 86 is Dalton Haynes.
And you see that explosive attack that Kerrville Tivy has. This game is far from over. 6 minutes, 58 seconds.
Timeout on the field.
Officials
timeout. Jake Leighton, quarterback, looks things over. Doesn't matter who he's got because he's going to keep it himself. Jake Leighton very close to the goal line. Officials not marking it as a touchdown yet. Looks like he's down to about the 6-inch line. Jake Leighton.
He is a very capable runner. He looked like he was going to be sacked in the backfield or tackled in the backfield. He dipped that shoulder, got those legs going, fought for a couple more yards, almost a touchdown.
Second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Hand it off to the running back, number 10, with a big game, Fisher Middleton.
Kerrville Tivy is game.
Tivy with the score and the extra point attempt now. Extra point attempt is up and good from number 85, Zachary Donaldson. Your score now, 28 for Kerrville Tivy, East Central Hornets 31.
East Central's going to – I wonder if they have it in their repertoire right now to be patient and just have one of those old school 10-play back-breaking drives. Run that ball. A good score, a quick score would be nice too, but 6 minutes is a lot of time.
Well, we talk about their leading rusher, 21, JJ Hernandez, having a, can we call it an average night, Barry?
He's had a pretty good night. The offensive line has really started to come on strong, but right now the running backs look pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some design quarterback runs, maybe a screen or two, but designed to milk that clock. Everybody stays in bounds. Flag on the play.
Well, there you go, fans. Number 3, Trayshawn Johnson, pure speed, pure talent. However, we've got some yellow laundry on the field, which will need an explanation. Likely to be bad news for the Hornets.
We have had 3, I say we like we're playing, the athletes have had 3 blocks in the back.
This time holding against the Hornets. We'll cancel everything that Mr. Trayshawn Johnson just did for the Hornets. But it's done. Let's make what we can do of it.
That's right. Next possession, next play. Even if it was a good play, next play. What can we do this play? Old play was over.
JJ in the backfield with Caden. A different setup this time. We got Bryant Kelly in the slot rather than way outside. I say in the slot, he's the closest to the line, but all 3 receivers are outside of the hash mark there.
I think you called it right. It's in the slot. What that does is that if they're going to double team him, that means that the outside receiver, number 11, who's caught that last touchdown, Jack Stewart, is open. I think
right.
They're going to run this.
You are correct. Hand off to JJ Hernandez. Finds the right side of the line. Still on his feet. Down at the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 8 for JJ.
Punishing run. Dipped his shoulder. Got those legs pumping. Great blocking up front. He sniffed out a hole.
Exactly what you called for, Barry. We want some slow, punishing run plays to make it down the field, kill some time.
See that clock? 20 seconds, 19 seconds. They move JJ over. 15 seconds on the play clock.
Big, heavy setup to the left side of the line here now. And that's where Bosenko runs, looking for all of his blockers. Bosenko up the middle, finds a big hole, still on his feet. Caden Bosenko with a 14-yard run out to the 38-yard mark. That'll be first down and 10, Hornets.
The offensive line, they are a unit. People don't think of them as individuals, and they shouldn't. But I'm going to tell you what. The offensive line has been really playing hard since that last possession, making sure that they stay on those blocks, keeping those talented Tivy linemen at bay.
Let's find some to call out here, Barry. Some mamas would like some babies' names called.
I bet they would. They deserve it.
Juan Hernandez picks up 6 on the play. Before you get your lineman of the play, let me mention Anston Bryant Kelly with a seal block. Nice block from Bryant Kelly on that right side lineman.
I was going to look for a lineman, but I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right, James. That was a great block using that big 6'4" frame. He's not just skin and bone. That is 6'4" of muscle. and it was on display on that linebacker on the edge. But unfortunately, JJ did run out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Look how close Tivy's defenders are. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men on the line, 2 linebackers.
The center flinched a little bit. That's going to be against us offsides, or false start rather.
So Tivy loaded up the right-hand side that time. They were coming on that play.
We have Linda Barecki ask how much time is on the clock. It is 4 minutes and 32 seconds.
Handoff off the middle. Correction, Bosenko keeps it up the middle. Gain out to the 46-yard line. Brings up 3rd down now and 2 yards to go for the Hornets.
I like the call. What they did, JJ, number 21, is running that ball pretty good. So he faked the run to JJ and just followed JJ. JJ became a blocker for Caden Bosenko.
4 wide receivers on the left-hand side. And Bosenko keeps it up the middle. He just needed 2, and that's what he got. He got about 4 on the play. Interesting setup there.
He also got punished by the Tivy defense. But first down, Hornets. Wonderful.
Number 1 in on the tackle, Peyton Rice. Number 45 also in there, Garrett Klapis.
3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock for the folks at home.
First and 10, Hornets, ball at the 50-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 running back to the left of Bosenko is Hernandez. Bosenko taking his time. Low snap, handoff to Hernandez. Left side of the line, but makes his way up to the middle and gets a good gain of about 7 yards before he's hit by number 45, who is Garrett Klapis, and number 65, Hayden Barnett.
JJ has a low center of gravity. He has a nice, strong trunk. He looked like he was down. He was able to keep those legs churning, squeeze out another few yards. Just outstanding run. Two minutes, 35 seconds left. Clock is running.
Run up the middle from Bosenko. Bosenko out past the first down marker. Another first down, Hornets.
2 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. Again, another fake handoff to JJ. Caden following JJ right up the hole. First down, Hornets.
Approaching 2 minutes left in the game for all you fans at home that can't see the clock. Hornets in no rush here. Bosenko eyeing all 3 of the receivers, so he is considering that option, but it's probably going to be a run up the middle. Yes, sir. Caden Bosenko keeps it again. Makes 2 yards if they're generous with the spot. Timeout on the play. Kerrville Tivy. That's Kerrville's second timeout taken. They have 1 remaining. Hornets have 2 timeouts remaining.
So it becomes a game of math. After every dead ball that is not after a timeout, every dead ball after every play, the play clock is reset to 40 seconds. So more than, since it's 2nd down and 9, if East Central doesn't get a first down, they will probably call another timeout. But if they don't, the clock is set to the play clock again is set to 40 seconds, starts winding. It's a matter of math. But let's see what happens.
Minute 44 left on the clock, so we're talking about If we took the full 40 seconds on 2 more plays, 3rd down and 4th down, then we'd still have another 24 seconds for Tivy to do something with the ball. So probably not going to do that.
Probably. But we'll see what happens. So the clock doesn't start till the ball snaps. And if East Central doesn't get a first down, expect a timeout. Timeout. Kerrville Tivy, as James already said, has 1 timeout left.
Same familiar setup here. Trips left. 1 running back, Juan Hernandez, in the backfield with Caden Bosenko. Let's watch the blocking up front again. It'll probably be a run up the middle. And it is for Bosenko. Lead blocker is Juan Hernandez. Bosenko squeezes in between the guards. And Tivy will take that timeout. 99, the tackler for Tivy, is Travis Pretty.
As the game comes to a close, please exit the stadium at designated areas assigned closest to
98 seconds left doesn't seem like a lot of time. But let's be real. Kerrville Tivy has moved that ball effectively. If East Central gets a first down, and I wouldn't doubt that they would probably take 2 downs to get it, if they move the ball forward on this down, East Central wins the game with a first down. They can just run the clock out. Kerrville will not be able to stop it. Should the Antlers actually make a stop, they'll have maybe a minute 15 to make the score. And again, they've proven that they can move that ball up and down the field.
Shout out to all of you in Facebook land. Tokyo Singas, let's go Hornets. Appreciate your support. Emily Cruz, let's go Hornets. Appreciate your support, Emily. And, of course, we got some Tivy fans in the house. Sam Hara, supporting number 11, or supporting number 1. Glad to have you here, Sam Hara. Same formation. However, this time the receivers move a little bit closer in toward the line. A lot closer in toward the line, compacting. And 21, Juan Hernandez, leading the block for Caden Bosenko. Bosenko turns it in and gets the ball down to the 30-yard line. Clock is still running with 1:26 remaining.
32 seconds left on the play clock, so it'll be under a minute. It'll be 4th and about 3. I would assume that East Central is going to go for it on 4th down.
Go for it. You're talking about a 20-yard difference between going for it and missing or not making it and a punt. So safely down into Tivy territory. Not a bad choice to go for it.
They're going to call a timeout. East Central's going to call a timeout.
And that they do. East Central timeout. They have 2 remaining. Is that correct, Barry?
I think they're going to have 1 remaining.
1 remaining is the call from Barry Huff.
49 seconds left in the game.
Again, fans, it's been our pleasure. Barry Huff, my colleague, myself, James Bryant, calling this YouTube and Facebook broadcast our second of the year, our second of our lifetimes. We thank Brandon Oliver, all of his staff at district office for getting this set up.
Thank you so much, guys.
Special thanks to Mr. McGinnis and all of his AV staff. Danny Christian, another one to be thanked. Of course, all of our staff at the district office. Suzette Ariola, we interviewed her earlier, our district athletic director. Coach Hubbard, all of his staff, we thank you for all you've done, giving us this opportunity to call this game. Where are we at, Barry? How many minutes to go?
We have 49 seconds left to go. East Central appears to be going for it. If they get a first down, this game is over. If not, it'll be a stoppage. They'll stop the clock.
Interesting formation. 2 running backs in that wing position, providing some extra blocking for Bosenko.
And that's the game.
And
That's the game.
Caden Bosenko behind the big blockers. First down, Hornets. And that may be it for this game.
After they set the first down marker, then the clock will start.
Clock is running.
They'll take a knee here.
We'll need to take one play, take the knee. Go ahead, Barry. I apologize.
No, you're doing good. But a big blocks number, I'm looking at number 71. I'm finally glad to be able to call out the guys' numbers individually. Number 71, great block. That was Wade Williams.
71, Wade Williams. 67, Julian Gallegos, also on that side. Let's call 67. We just did call 67, Julian Gallegos. And there we go, fans. Toss it up in the air. We got us a victory. East Central Hornets win. Hornets win. Your final score, 31 for East Central. Tivy, 28.
Your East Central Hornets, 31. On behalf of the Superintendent Roland Toscano, East Central High School Principal Shane McKay, and the Athletic Director Suzanne Ariola.
And fans, we look forward to seeing you once again on Facebook and YouTube. October 23rd versus Wagner. Look for Barry Huff, my colleague, and myself, James Bryant, for another semi-exciting call from here at Hornet Stadium. Fans, have a great night. We appreciate having you here. Good night.
Please help show your support of these fine student athletes by acting in a sportsmanlike manner. Let's also help out our wonderful custodial staff and throw away our trash, please. Keep our stadium nice and clean. And also, please assist East Central ISD in an effort to keep our athletes safe and exit the stadium properly, following CDC guidelines of social distancing. Please do not congregate and wait for your student athlete. We appreciate you coming out to Hornet Stadium. Please make your way to your vehicle and have a great evening.